Wicket at the stroke of tea makes tea time that much sweeter for the West Indies. 2 for 99, you think they've just clawed back in that session as Prithvi Shaw's fine debut innings of 134 came to a soft conclusion. Of 154 balls, his 100 coming at a run of ball. Cheteshwar Pujara with the classic Pujara knock 86, striking at 66. And Virat Kohli and Ajinkya Rahane will resume things after tea. It is Devendra Bishu's the man they got to thank for that wicket of Prithvi Shaw. Courtney Walsh and Ajit Agarkar with me on ESPN Cricket for Match Day. A nice little period towards the end where at least we see a couple of wickets. Otherwise, it was looking like one session, one way, and same sort of chat.
Yeah, tough conditions to bowl on. Two set batsmen, always much harder. I thought the West Indies were a lot better. Two bowlers bowling, in partnerships, which helps. Yeah, there were a few loose balls, but once the ball got a bit softer, there's, I think, a little bit of reverse on offer as well, which accounted for Pujara's wicket, perhaps. But much better session. 99 runs compared to 133 in that first one. So, and that wicket just topped it up for the West Indies. They needed some wickets in this session. Two set batsmen out. They've got two new guys to bowl at now.
Yeah, the second part of that session, Courtney, seemed to be more for the West Indies. You agree with Ajit? The ball getting softer might have actually made scoring a bit harder?
Yeah, I think obviously if the ball gets a bit softer, it's going to slow the scoring down a bit. But I also think, as he mentioned, the reverse swing. I was impressed with how Lewis came back. I mean, it's his test debut. Didn't get the best of starts, but he came back and he showed composure and he showed that he's got something about him. The wicket, I mean, a lot of people are saying it's a soft dismissal, but I thought because of the angle that he was bowling at, to get that one to straighten a little bit was a good delivery to me. And it's the sort of way you need to bowl on these type of wickets. I was impressed with that. And then I think with Bishu getting that last wicket, the West Indies would have gone in a little bit more comfortable. But they came out and showed a much better session after.
All right, let's look at both wickets. First, the Pujara wicket. Would you look back at that and think, should have left it, or you get carried away sometimes on a pitch where you're scoring freely?
Yeah, but I thought it was a good piece of bowling. I think, like Courtney mentioned, just a little bit wider on the crease and the ball reversing just that much. You don't need the ball to swing a mile. You just need to move a little bit of it and just poked at it, which Pujara usually is good at outside off stump, but it's also the quality of the ball that made him make that mistake. So you've got to give the credit to the bowler there.
Yeah, I mean, Sherman Lewis for his first wicket. You'll remember that one. Prithvi Shaw will remember his first 100. But for that wicket, let's just talk about the innings, Courtney. What have you observed of the first innings that we've seen from Prithvi Shaw? He plays lots of shots. There were a lot of edges that flew through the slips. Played and missed too. So it's the entire package. What's your assessment of Prithvi Shaw after his first innings?
Well, he showed that he's got good potential. He's not afraid of playing his shots. He's not afraid of playing his natural game, which is good to see because you want to see more of that. He wasn't in awe of the situation. I think once he got off the mark, he felt comfortable. He felt like he belonged in Test cricket, and he showed that composure. He played some wonderful shots. He played and missed a couple of times. You're going to get that. But at the end of the day, I think it's an innings he would be very satisfied with. He got some runs. He's got his first test on debut. Not many players have done that. And he would be very, very happy for that. I mean, I'm sure the West Indies will be happy to see the back of him. But he played a tremendous innings. That knock was something special. And he reminded me of a few other Indian guys that I've seen. I mean, Sunil and Sachin, when they were youngsters. And I think probably because of his height and stuff, that stature is down there. And he plays the cut shots pretty well.
I mean, there's a position up for grabs. And anything, I mean, a significant score is one thing, but in India, we're so obsessed with hundreds that it always helps.
Yeah, I mean, it's on a debut as well with such a young sort of kid. Although he's been around the circuit, couple of years, maybe a little bit more. Lots of India A cricket in recent times, which would have helped him as well. But just, I'm quite happy that he didn't try to change his game just because it was his, playing a test match or his first test match. Just played like how I've seen him play in first class cricket. And as he gets more experience, the game will get tighter. We'll play, different sessions differently. And that's what you want to see in a young player. You want to get that first one out of the way. And if you get it in the first innings, nothing like it. As much as he'll be happy getting that 130 odd, he'll be kicking himself just getting out before tea. Would have got a nice 20-minute break, refreshed again. Because there was some serious runs for the taking.
He spent a few seconds at the crease after that cotton ball. Soft dismissal.
So did Pujara.
Yeah, but you felt like every batsman you're not going to be happy with just 134. There was, if you want to be a little greedy, or if you want to be Prithvi Shaw, possibly a 200 up for the taking. But a fine innings, and he got it nearly at a run a ball. We've got some numbers for you on centurions and the fastest century on Test debut in terms of balls faced. Shikhar Dhawan's innings against Australia comes to mind, 187. Ironically, the man that's been left out for Prithvi Shaw to come in. Dwayne Smith's got a test 193 balls, so he keeps company with a few modern day players, does Prithvi Shaw. So that's something you would want to him to continue play this way, but maybe he won't always have the luxury.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it'll always be easy where he's going to get 100 or 99 balls in Test cricket. Won't get conditions like that were there on offer today. I mean, West Indies clearly depleted with two of their more experienced seamers out as well. So that first session, there were a few sort of freebies on offer as well. But he's got runs at the top level now, which would give him so much confidence playing into that next test as if he belongs there, and he's earned that spot. So yeah, it's always nice to get off to a good start.
Courtney, if you saw this guy, high back lift, likes to play his flashy sort of shots, you're a tall fast bowler, what's your approach to him? What's your bowling plan to him?
Well, first, I'll try to get the ball to seep away from him and see if I can get that extra bounce. A lot of it's going to depend on the surface. If that's not happening, then I'm going to try to close him down to test his patience as well. One thing I want to mention is that this is his first test match. A lot of guys will be looking at him around the world to see how he plays. So the test for him now is going to see how well he can maintain that and the approach that he will take when guys start to make particular plans for him.
And now that, like he says, guys have seen him, there are going to be tougher tests. As nice as it is to get that first one out of the way, there will be a lot more difficult days ahead in Test cricket.
Okay, well, he'll see them. He's only 18 years of age, and just looking at where he stands in terms of age when it comes to centurions. So after Mohammad Ashraful, Hamilton, Mazhar and Salim Malik, we've got Prithvi Shaw at number 4. 18 years, 329 days. He's going to celebrate his birthday next month, in fact. Born on the 9th of November 1999. How old was Ajit Agarkar in 1999?
Oh God!
How old were you?
What was I think
30? No, you were 30.
It's been a long time, Ronak. I think
How
21.
Old? 21, Ajit. Courtney, how old were you in 1999 when Prithvi Shaw was born?
Wow, I might have been 4. I would have 1999.
Yeah.
Would have been probably 36, somewhere around there.
I don't know why I'm doing that to the two of you. I'll just let it be. Let's
Old enough.
carry on, Courtney.
But it's a good sign though. His birthday is next month, so he's on a good sign. So that's one of the reasons why he looks such a good player.
He's going to be rewarded perhaps with a berth to the Australian Test squad. But let's focus on the session ahead then. The West Indies have got a couple of wickets. For all that's being said, there are some, this Test match is easy, or it's a matter of time for batsmen to just get runs. KL Rahul's not got runs. There would be a little bit of pressure on Ajinkya Rahane also to just get a few scores ahead of Australia. Plays only the one format now.
Yeah, and when you know there are runs for the taking, it's a tired attack at the moment. Okay, they might be a bit more rejuvenated after those 2 wickets and a bit of a break after tea. But it's a good pitch. Conditions are, everything's in favour of the batsman. You want to try and cash in. And he's not had the best run in Test cricket in recent times, apart from a couple of scores in England, so he'd want to get some runs. Once he does that in these 2 tests, then the pressure's off, and then he can actually worry about his batting and not his place.
At lunch, Courtney asked Ajit when the spinners would come in. It's Bishu's done all right. Even Roston Chase got a few good ones that beat the right-hand bat.
Yes, there were some good signs there. I think they varied the pace a lot better, and because of that, they got a little bit of purchase off the wicket as well. So it was good to see. I think maybe the plan after lunch might be just probably lock up one end with some seam, keep it tight, and then rotate the spinners to see how well they go. But obviously, Bishu will continue. He's just got a wicket. He's looking the part, getting a bit more turn. So as the wicket goes on, you can see it will probably turn some more. So I think it's important that the West Indies try to stay in this game and try not for India to get away in this last session. This last session could be very, very crucial.
Yeah. The thing is, if West Indies can prize out a couple of wickets, then you're looking at Pant and then Ashwin and Jadeja. All of them can obviously bat, but it's not a Virat Kohli or Ajinkya Rahane. So that wicket was really important just before tea to give West Indies that little bit of drive to push themselves a bit more for that first hour. Will be interesting now after tea.
All right, many thanks Ajit, many thanks Curry. We'll get your thoughts at stumps. Let's see how many India have got by the end of day one. West Indies clawing back into that session, so it makes for a wonderful final session, as Courtney Walsh points out. Download the ESPN Cricinfo mobile app to stay up to date with everything, and we'll be back for our post show on ESPN Cricinfo Matchday.